Oh my God, you guys, you won't believe what I just did. I hope it survives, and I hope I survive the rest of the day. You see this container? This is what I have my sink full on watering day. I have this sink full of water, and I dump this in and dump it over the top, the pieces that don't get the water level. Forgetting that the other day I was frying meatballs for the spaghetti, and I put the leftover fat in this container. Oh my God. So I just picked it off the counter, put it in the water, and dumped it over the new orchid. Now I'm going to show you a close-up. Oh my God. It just was fat everywhere. And I'm going to show you what I've done here. I've been trying to get the fat, hot water, cold water, trying to get the fat off the bark, the leaves, the roots. And some others might have got it because I quickly dumped it in the sink. So I pulled them out and everything's kind of come to a full stop. And if you hear a noise, Jack is working in the shed. We're just, this is just how it is some days. So I'm going to get you close here and see what I've done to try and remedy this. Oh my God. Okay, let's get down there. Okay, what I've done is I rinsed the poor thing. Oh, you know how good this was doing too. And I rinsed the poor thing. I've rinsed all, but look at the amazing root growth. That's the thing of buying your new orchid when you first go into orchids, buying your orchid when it is the growing season, because the leaves are still firm, the flowers are perfect, and I dumped beet fat all over everything. So I've done my best with the first warm water, cold water, trying to get it off, but look at the new roots. It was doing so good with watering twice a day, and I think I've got the plant. And after soaking it a lot, I'm going to just put this over here for a minute. Oh boy. After soaking, this was just all grease. So I dumped all the bark out. Still feels I dumped all the bark out and rinsed it with hot water, because I'll have to get some new bark soaking for that. When I repot it, I'll have good bark. But it's still a little greasy. So what I did is I kept rinsing the bark, and cold water brought some of the white to the surface. And then I scrubbed out my bucket because it was all greasy, and I put in some seaweed extract in the warm water. And while I've been cleaning everything, I put the orchid in. Seaweed extract is excellent for root growth. So poor thing, who could ever do such an awful thing? But anyway, I think what I will do, let me back up again for a minute, and excuse all the noise, but some days life's so, and then you wouldn't believe what happened. Okay, let's get this up a bit. Then you wouldn't believe what happened, because I had my Medic Alert bracelet on, and I have this necklace that has a little hoop on it. Broke my Medic Alert bracelet. That's two, everybody. So I quickly wanted to show you this, and what I'll do is probably join it to another video. So that's what's happening this morning, but I gotta get busy watering my orchids. So, hey, no preparation for this video whatsoever, but you can have a quick peek of what I did yesterday. I'll be able to put this together. So, see you again soon. Hi everybody, the orchid is done. Now it has fat all over everywhere, because the first thing I did when I grabbed that little picture was I had this orchid in a bucket. And the first thing I did, it was just water, because it was plain watering day, is I just grabbed it, stuck it in the water, and went like that. Everything went over. And that was not like hard fat, it was still kind of runny. So it went all over everything. And that would just plug up the pores of everything. And then, who knows? So anyway, it's repotted in the same bark that was washed and washed and washed. But when I get the traffic cone ready that I want to put it in, I'll put all new bark, and it'll be hopefully better. I washed the leaves, I did everything I could, and I did notice some of the old roots had gone soggy. So that would not be because I was doing not 2 waterings a day, but 2 a week. And so you do lose some because they're not used to going in bark, they're used to the moss, and who knows if they were already on their way out from being so compacted in that moss, because they were center ones. So I did pull a few leaves off and just left the roots. So when I repot them, you'll see the strings from that. But lots of new roots were coming up high near the leaves and down off the other roots. So it's looking good, and hopefully I haven't shocked it too much, but time will tell. So that's all done. And I said that's 1, 2 things, but actually there was 3. Jack came in for lunch, and we thought, well, we'll have an early lunch so we can get something done. And he went to sit at the chair, and I said, you got something on your back, and thinking it was a tick, because it's tick season and there's lots around, and it was big. So I hollered at him, and I got something and took it off. I think it was a wasp. And took it off and put it on the floor, and then he took it outside. So that was 3. We're done. A day in our lives. But anyway, I have to tell you, I appreciate you subscribers so much. You're all wonderful people. It's a joy getting the comments and everything. And for the first time, when I put this last video up, I had some trouble with it, and it was very grainy when I first put it up. And then I got 4, and then 1 later, very bad comments. But we had took it down and put it back up again. And I right away blocked 4. And I had 1 that was similar. I hadn't blocked, that came in the night, and it was there the next morning under the new video. Now, all the time I've had this channel, I've never blocked anybody. I've never had any kind of that trouble. The words were terrible, and I'm not even going to go into it. There was other language with kind of funny printing. It was just rude. SEX was in there. It was, let me just say, it was very hurtful. So it's been reported, and they're off. And if it wasn't for all you wonderful people that are so nice, I would let it bother me, but it's gone. Those people that do that, you know, if you don't like something, don't watch it. I mean, good grief. Enough of that. So anyway, and it was my birthday on June 13th, and I had a wonderful time. And I want to thank you subscribers that remembered and sent me very thoughtful cards, and surprised me with other things. I want to thank you very much. And Francis, I want to thank you for the cute card and everything else. And Joanne, I also want to thank you. And you're a barrel of laughs. Joanne sent a nice little wind chime, and it's out in the yard. You'll see that in one of the next videos. And anyway, I get nice emails in my emails from everybody saying happy birthday. And Georgia, I want to thank you too. There's so many wonderful people that those few terrible people are not worth the time of day, but I did block them because they deserved it. So let's get that over with. And I wanted, as a kind of a treat, now that I've cleaned up, I've been through all this, I'm just going to give you a tour of all the windows with the orchids in, and you can see what's happening. So,
never mind scratching my seat.
oh, just a minute. I'm on a video. Okay, I'm going to grab this off and I'll take you on a tour. There we go. Okay. Now, first we'll do the west windows.
Here, behave yourself.
Now this is, Maggie's getting it put in her special spot over there.
You lay down, never mind scratching
So,
the seat.
this is a west window, and this is where it gets the hottest season, and usually you don't want your orchids in a west window through the heat of the day. And I do have a curtain on the outside here, but I wasn't able to do a curtain on the inside, so I keep all my orchids out of the window and backed up on tables here, so that when I pull that blind, they're not getting any direct sun. So, and the ZZ plant I brought in here because it was just getting too big for the spot it was in. And it was watering day, so they're all happy. And this one here is a nice spike coming, but it's been moved so many times. The flowers, so wonder they never fell off, but they never. And this one has a nice new leaf coming, plus all these beautiful flowers. Yeah. This is one of my older orchids too. And so they've all been watered. They're all happy. In the back is my Chinese money plant. If you remember when I got it, it was real small. Now they like a little light just coming off to the side. So I put him in the back because he could get real big and full if I'm lucky. And the cage will come in happy. But quite often they will lean towards the sun coming in. So this way it's on like a microwave. It's on a turntable. So I can just turn it so when it starts to lean one way, it will straighten out. There's a tag, you know, it's just tiny and it's growing quite fast. And so this is the west window that all the cactuses can take the straight heat in there. I don't have to remove them. They get straight heat every year and they're quite happy there. So that's what's happening in that window. Okay. Now, this is the other west window. Of course, I've got curtains in right at the glass. So this way, right at the glass, I don't have to worry about all these. They can stay there, or when the weather's permissible, this is our first sunny day today, they can go outside. Something else I was experimenting with was a couple that had a lot of leaves. I cut the spike off, but not at the base where I usually do, just for curiosity. Now, how it affects them, whether they get a full bloom, well, we will see. But I noticed I also did it with this one. it had a few leaves, not a lot, but a few, and it decided to branch where I cut it off. Now I know they say do that. I've never do that. I always let mine gather strength and cut them right off. But this is, you know, just I want to see what it does for the ones that decide to do it. So here is the orchid that just went through the most horrible experience. So now its leaves are firm, and hopefully it doesn't, you know, take a bad reaction. You know, there's even roots coming in here. It's just doing so good, and I had to go and do that. So this is where it will be when it's finished in its traffic cone and stand. So, and it's getting watered twice a week. I did notice it's staying quite wet in the bottom, but I'm still doing it twice a week till it goes to the traffic cone, and then I'll switch to the same as what all the orchids get once a week. So, and the Hoya got moved. I'm great at moving things, so it's there. And of course, this is where the ZZ plant was, so I moved the rabbit's foot fern here because it was a little squashed in the corner, and there's pretty good growth happening in there. I think it'll be fine, and it's just not sticking out every time we walk by. So now these are the north windows, and they've been a real joy for me. And because they're north, on dark days in the winter, we have the grow light on the side, and for evenings. So here is my little peloric orchid, and this is where she stays. And I usually have her facing the light, but for the video, I decided to just face her in. And look at Alphinia. She decided to show off too. She's so pretty, and she has some more coming. So I'm really happy, and that's a new leaf. So that's good. Now the Militanopsis, its flowers went and the stem turned yellow, so it didn't stay as long as Alphinia and the peloric one do. And that's Miltassia Charles Finch, and she hasn't done anything. So that's what's happening in this window. And so the other window, look at my cute birthday cards. And this one Rosemary made. She made the whole thing. And then inside, she made all that. I mean, I was just, I have to improve my gifting when I do cards. My goodness. So anyway, thank you again, everybody. And so in this window, I have the big lip up here and there. And here, you know, this basket where I threw all the orchids that were near dead, and I put them all together. Well, one is nice spike coming, nice size spike, and there's new leaves coming, and so I'm quite happy. Even though this basket is not very deep and dries out quick because it's all like this, they seem very happy. They get once a week. And I did put Valeriana to the back here. She'll still get humidity from the misting bowl, and but a little further back, and I'm hoping I see a new leaf again on there. Hoping. So anyway, that's it, you guys, and thanks very much again. I do appreciate all of you and all of the comments. Bye for now.